We do have some breaking news that we need to tell you about. Let's take you to the East Coast. This is not Lollapalooza that you're looking at. This is actually in New York City. You see a rowdy crowd there causing major problems. This is actually in Union Square in Manhattan. It's apparently all because a social media star was reportedly giving away PlayStations and streaming computers. That's when thousands of people descended on the park. There are fights and crowds. You see them there climbing over cars and up poles. Police have made dozens of arrests there. We don't know about any serious injuries as of yet, but we will keep you updated as more comes into our newsroom from New York.
Yo, so did Cenat just try to Astro World New York City? As you can see here, there's has to be somewhere between 5,000 to 10,000, maybe plus, all on one corner. I mean, Manhattan already sees 1 million people, 2 million people every day, just not all conjugated in one place. That's what made it seem out of control, really. So Cenat, the streamer from the Bronx, had a PS5 giveaway, which nobody won. The only thing 65 people won was a night in jail and now criminal records, which is the worst part about this whole thing. Nobody died, so he didn't go full Astro World. I'm not saying that was a goal, but that was a very strong possibility. When you have that many people in one place, especially because most of the people that follow him are kids from 11 to 17, you know? There's not that many 25, 26, 27, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds following Cenat. If you're 40 years old, how entertaining can this kid actually be? If you're a teenager, early 20s, then he is pretty entertaining. These videos just go to show how much influence and power kids on the internet really have. It always gets downplayed, like, yeah, whatever, he's just online, he's just on his Twitch stream. Them streams, you're getting 30,000 people live. Them streams, you're getting 30,000 people live. The URL doesn't get that. Isn't that crazy? If Tay-Rock and them think they're famous and the URL lives don't get 30,000 people at one time, what's this kid? He just passed 100,000 subs. And it's not like on YouTube where you subscribe to the channel, which right there is the button's right there. You might as well smack it right there. Just punch it right in his face. Just take that button and punch it right in his face. It costs you nothing on YouTube. To be a subscriber on Twitch, it costs you $5 a month. And he has 100,000 people willing to pay $5 a month. I think he was very inspired by that Uzi video, I Wanna Rock, which he was in. But the difference between that video and this stunt was that Uzi's video was actually a video, like it was a video shoot. They had permits and cops and organizations. It wasn't just people deciding, oh, we're just about to pull up and if you know, you know. No, it was organized. They had invitation, security, the whole thing. This was on some pull up, we about to be on Union Square, and the only people there are the ones following him. If you're not already following him, then you didn't know this was happening, right? So when you have these 5,000 people down there, these are all subscribers of his. And I don't want to fully blame him, even though it is his fault, because at the end of the day, people are responsible for what they do. So these jumping on cars, see people on top of the bus stops, what are you doing? What are y'all doing? Even if you wanted to get a PS5, that's gonna get you a PS5? If that's your goal, what are you doing? And nobody even won the PS5. So what are we doing here? What's your goal? Whose idea was this? Cenat's manager is a lawyer. Your lawyer said it's valid? If you have a lawyer as your manager and he doesn't tell you, I don't know if this is the best way to do this. I'm never on the side of people losing their jobs. Like, I feel like people can do better jobs. We can learn and we can grow. But if you're a lawyer and you don't tell your client who you manage, who you make millions off of, right? Because if he makes millions and you get a percentage of what he makes, then you at least make a couple 100,000, if not 1 million, off to this young boy. And you can't tell him, hey, this is not a good idea. People are probably gonna get hurt. It's probably gonna be too much. I don't think you understand. Even though you're from the Bronx, you might not really understand how easy it is to get to the city. So there's gonna be millions, thousands of people there. Not millions. Millions is gassing it. There's gonna be millions of people in the city. Of course, it's New York City. That's what happens. That's what it is. But you don't want thousands of people all in one corner. It's never gonna be good. There was a couple thousand people in the Astro World and look what happened. So was this the dark forces? I don't know. I think this is more of a poorly organized publicity stunt, which worked. You wanted publicity, you got it. And you didn't have to give up no PS5s. So it was a win-win. And nobody died. The only bad thing is the 65 people that got arrested. Yeah, sure, he and his homies got arrested. Duke Dennis and them and Phantom and them. They got arrested and they face, or at least he faces, up to 3 years. But you know he's not doing no time. He's doing a little community service and that's it. Paying some fines off, paying some people off, and that's it. No one with money actually does time for this. Not for this. No one even got hurt. I mean, people died at Travis' concert and he didn't do no time. So jail is not a possibility here. It seems like it. They pump faking like it is. Oh, he's gonna be charged. Oh, but that's cap. I mean, he's gonna be charged, sure, but even if his fines is 200,000, 300,000, that's light. He does that a month. He does at least double, triple that a month. Who cares? That's light. I'm really stuck on this PS5 thing. Did he bring it with him? Was he going to throw into the crowd? Like, what was the plan here? That's really my whole thing. That's really my whole reason for making this video. Like, what was the plan here? You thought you were about to pull up with 7 PS5s? You told 30,000 people, pull up on me, and you thought you were about to throw a PS5 out the moving car? Like, what did you think was going to happen here? What was the goal? There's no way you thought you was about to hand out 2 PS5s. Even if it was 100 PS5s. If you bring thousands of people and only give 100 of them PlayStation 5s, what do you think is gonna happen? People rob each other for Jordans that you can just buy. Like, you can just buy Jordans. They're available. And it's not like the old days where Jordans was scarce. You can just find Jordans in any shoe store. That's not the same for the PS5. So even if he was gonna give out a bunch of them, right? 100 of them, let's say. There's 5,000 people there. Look at this, look at this. There's 10,000 people there. How far are those people who did get the PS5, which no one did, as far as we know? How far would they really get? Are they supposed to just get back on the train? You want them to Uber it? If they're going downtown in hopes to get a PS5, you really think they're gonna Uber it back home from downtown? You bugging. That's like a $50 Uber. You bugging. That's crazy. And even though, how you getting out of there? I don't want to make it seem like this is one of those offer up type situations, but what did he think was going to happen? If someone would have died here, if multiple people would have died here, being trampled like Lion King, what was he going to do? Go on the stream and say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know better. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You saw AstroWorld. You do know better. You know that that's a possibility. Of course you do. We all have been young and ignorant, but we just saw that happening. We just saw it. It's one thing to not have heard of something like that happening, but we did literally just see that happening. We just saw that happening. Utopia just came out. They had to wait until all that heat died down before the heat from what? Exactly. I really do want to chalk this up to ignorance. Like, I don't want to put malicious intent on what we can attribute to ignorance. But even if it's ignorance on him and his team and his people, it can be ignorance on the lawyer who's his manager, because he knows that's not okay. And I don't mean morally, I mean organizationally. This was just a poor planning job, because this could have easily been done through email. He could have done it a bunch of different ways. Hey, send an email to this and why you think you should deserve it. Or send a video of you singing or dancing or rapping or whatever. There's a bunch of different ways that this could have been done. But they chose the worst possible one. The worst possible one. What I really want to know about those 65 people that were arrested only because he did this, are they getting their bails paid? You're the millionaire here. Nobody else there is a millionaire but you and your people. Or are they just a casualty of the publicity stunt? I don't know, man. Let me know what you think about this, though. Peace.